Welcome. It's quite a while since I've done anything, and I'm on holiday in North Wales, and so I'm just breaking out for a couple of hours, and we're near a village or small town called Harlech, and we're just a few miles in from the coast up in North Wales, and come to this absolutely beautiful spot, very remote. Oh, car come in. So I've come to this very remote spot, and there's a campsite. There's a campsite which is owned by the people whose cottage we are renting, and it's got some quite famous waterfalls there, which are absolutely beautiful. And there's been a lot of rain the last 48 hours, so there should be a fair bit of water running down these mountains. Yesterday it was absolutely raging, the river. It'll be a lot calmer today because there's been a lot less rain the last 24 hours or so. But nevertheless, there should still be quite a bit of water in there, and it could make for some quite spectacular waterfall shots. So I'm going to recce it out and see what we can do. This will just be a shorty, a little bit on how to photograph waterfalls. Catch you up when I get there. Bye for now. Well, excuse me for all the noise, but as you can see behind me now, we are at the falls, and there's a spectacular amount of water coming down here, so hence all the sound. I'm going to get myself set up and see if I can make some sense of all of this. Catch you in a minute. Well, I've had to come away from the falls a bit to stand any chance at all of explaining the shot that I've taken. I haven't taken it from this position, but from a little bit closer, and because of the depth of the image, and because I wanted to really slow the water down here, I've used quite a small aperture and focus stacking, and ended up with a shutter speed of about 2 seconds. Now, it might be a bit long, third of a second maybe would be good. So I might try another one at a third of a second or so. I don't know what's happening with the white balance on this, but it's looking a bit blue. I haven't used any filters because it's raining, and just trying to keep all the rain off the filters at the moment for a long exposure would just be horrendous. So the focus stacking mode on the Nikon is brilliant. It's very easy to set up. I set it up ages ago on a standard setting of taking up to 20 shots, and set a level of 3 out of 10, I think it is, in terms of focus increment levels that it can focus on, and it just decides how many pictures within that particular scene it needs to shoot to make sure that everything is in focus. So it takes all the guesswork out of it. Well, I'm going to try this. I've turned down my microphone volume and I put it right next to my mouth to see if we can get some kind of audio, because I think this shot's worth explaining. A beautiful setup here. I mean, it's just such a fantastic scene, and I wanted to zoom in really right on that far cataract, if I could call it that. So I'm shooting here with my 24-200. That's f4 to 6.3, and I wanted to do a range of shutter speeds. So I've shot this one already at a third of a second shutter speed, and in order to get the shutter speed to that level, I ended up with, I think, something like an ISO of 800, And anyway, I think what I'll do, I'll set that up all over again so we can see what's going on. Okay, so there we've got 1/3 of a second, and you can see from the histogram here that we're way underexposed, so hence using the ISO of 800. So I'm going to increase the ISO. And what you can see now with the histogram is that we haven't got that huge great block right up against the left-hand side of the histogram, and we're not blowing anything out on the right-hand side either. So from the point of view of this shot, we've got the shutter speed that we want, and we've got a reasonable depth of field here because we've got f14. So I've focused here on this rock in what passes for the foreground, and that should mean that the whole image is pretty much sharp and in focus. I've got a 2-second timer on the shutter release. I'll just double check that. Okay, yeah, so we've got 2-second timer on the shutter release, and I think we're ready to take that shot. Not a lot of detail actually, really, there in the water, in the cataract at the far end. So I think what I'm going to do is, because the water is going so fast, and I really want to capture some of that motion because it is spectacular. So I'm going to go for a shorter shutter speed now. So we're going to go down to 1/5 of a second, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with a slightly wider aperture. I don't want to go any wider than that because otherwise I'm going to lose depth of field significantly. And so we've still got ISO 800, and again we'll look okay now on the histogram, so let's give that one a shot. So now we're starting to get a bit more detail, and I still want a bit more, so we're going to go a bit faster. So I've increased the ISO now right up to 1250. This will be fine. The noise reduction capabilities now in Lightroom are going to take care of this with no problem at all. Okay, we're still not there. I still want more detail. Let's keep going. Okay, I think that's probably as far as I can go. I can go a little bit further with the ISO, but we're going to start to get significant noise then. But while I'm here, I might as well go for it. Right, now we're getting there. That's looking good now. So I'm happy with that one. We've got the detail that I want. We've also got some different, lots of different shutter speeds, and so when I get it back on the computer, I can pick and choose. I am in a bit of a precarious position here on the edge of this cliff, and so it's probably time to get out of here and find somewhere a little bit safer to take some pictures from. Well, that was a bit mad. Didn't do a lot of recording because it was just so noisy, but I've got to say that's got to really go down as one of my favourite all-time locations. In and around this campsite there's a bit of just about everything. We've got the river, we've got the waterfalls, we've got fantastic ancient woodland, huge boulders covered in moss, rocky outcrops, fantastic wider landscapes as well, and it struck me that this could be an absolute perfect location for coming and doing some tutorials, that kind of stuff. And so there's a fantastic, amazing, beautiful campsite here as well, and so watch out for that, because I think this place in the autumn next year, October time, when it's gone relatively quiet in terms of the tourists and stuff, could be a great place to be. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now. I may do a little bit to camera when I get back home, but in the meantime, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.